Hello everyone and welcome. It is I, MovieManCHAD, here with a Blu-ray update for you for September 30th, 2017. A little over a year ago, I got a chance to go with my We Live film family to the Toronto International Film Festival. I had a wonderful time and I saw 40 movies in 10 days. Since then, I've been able to collect some of those movies on Blu-ray and I'm going to showcase them for you today. So the theme for this Blu-ray update, of course, is Toronto International Film Festival 2016. Now, the first movies that I'm going to share with you right now premiered at the film festival, but I did not get a chance to see them till later in the theaters. But the rest of them, of course, are films that I either enjoyed or loved, or some of the best films I've ever seen in my life that I saw at that wonderful festival. The best festival that I've personally ever been to in my entire life. And I hope one day I get to return there. Alright, so the first movies that I'm going to talk about, one I saw in 2017 actually, though it did premiere at the Fest, and the other one I saw a little later after the film festival in 2016, and that would be first, A United Kingdom. This is going to be a 2017 film for me, but for most people probably will be, who saw it at the film festival, will be 2016, and Loving, a movie that I saw a couple of months later after the film festival was over, and I really absolutely loved these films, and I thought they were great, emotional, well acted, beautifully shot, and I can't wait to see more from these filmmakers and these actors, and I thought these stories were both beautiful and challenging and interesting, and they do definitely have a lot in common. And if you haven't got a chance to see either one of these films, I'd say you please go out of your way and check them out. Luckily, I think I got these for a pretty good price for both of them. Actually, I got this one used, and I think I paid $4, and I got this one brand new for only $10. So really, some amazing films that I do highly recommend to anybody who has not got a chance to see these films yet. Though I did not see them at the film festival, I do consider them because they did premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, and definitely films that are definitely worth seeing. All right, now let's get into, I think 14 or 15 movies. I can't really remember how many I have right here. Let's get into these and talk about the films that I saw at Toronto International Film Festival 2016. All right, the first one is Queen of Katway. This is a nice Disney family movie about chess, even though I did see a better film last year called Dark Horse that dealt with some more challenging themes than this one. So if you love chess and you love Disney, then this is a film that I do recommend you see. I thought it was a good, solid movie, and I think it's also available on Netflix, so if you don't want to go out of your way to buy it, you can definitely see it on Netflix. I think this is going for either $20 or $30 right now at Best Buy or anything, but I was working out at Planet Fitness, and I actually got this movie for free. Awesome. So awesome. Glad to add it to my collection, and a very good film from that festival. All right, next one is one of the best films of the year. Actually, I'm going to go through three of these. Let's just do three of these, because each one of these films were nominated for Best Picture. First, we have Manchester by the Sea. Then we have Moonlight. And we have Lion. Each one of these films were nominated. Of course, movies like Moonlight and Manchester by the Sea took awards. And I don't know if Lion took anything home. But I had the great privilege of seeing all three of these movies at the film festival. This was I think this was the first movie I actually saw. I heard so many great things about this movie at Sundance, and I just walked away absolutely loving this film. It's not an easy movie to watch, but it's a movie I actually eventually saw again in theaters a few months later. I loved Manchester by the Sea. Moonlight I thought was a fabulous, great film. I saw it actually, I know it wasn't presented in IMAX, but they do have an IMAX theater there in Toronto, and I actually saw this film on that big IMAX screen. And it's not that kind of movie by any means, but you know, it was still an incredible experience. Do I think this movie should have won Best Picture? Not really. I do think it's a great film, one of the best films of 2016, but I don't know if it's a movie I'd want to watch a lot. It's not an easy movie to watch, and it's not a fun movie to watch. But it's still well acted, beautifully shot, and I can't wait to see more from this filmmaker. And a great studio, of course, I believe made this film, A24. And of course, it won Best Picture and all that stuff, so congratulations to that. But of course, it wasn't my choice. Again, I just think it's a Best Picture winner that a lot of people either didn't see, or if they saw it once, they loved it, and they may not ever see it again. But I really enjoyed it. I'm glad to add it to my collection. And finally, let's talk a little bit about Lion. I absolutely love this film. I actually saw it at the film festival. Then I took my mom again and saw it with her. And I don't know if she went and saw it with some friends after that, but I just really enjoyed this film. So if you love Slumdog Millionaire, but you were sad that it was not based on a true story, now you have Lion, which is based on a true story, and in my opinion might be a better film than Slumdog, even though I do love Slumdog Millionaire a lot. Okay, there you go. Those 3 great films that were nominated for and also won some awards at the Academy Awards. Next one I'm going to go through is Jackie. Jackie is a film that I was not prepared for. I didn't know what I was getting into when I watched this film. I didn't even know what it was about. I heard that Natalie Portman was in it, but I didn't really know what it was about and walked away going, wow, I'm so glad I didn't know anything about it. And if you don't know anything about this film and you have not seen it yet, just go out and watch it. I don't know where it's available. If you don't want to pay or buy it on Blu-ray or DVD, or if it's still at Redbox, I do recommend it. And if you like history, if you like the history of JFK and Jackie Kennedy, then I think it's something you should see. And if you really love Natalie Portman, it's one of her greatest performances. I love the way the movie looks, the way it's shot, the way it's handled. And it's not an easy movie to watch, but it is one of the most beautiful films I saw at the film festival. All right, next one is kind of a break from all the seriousness that I've already, I think, talked about. And this was a film I did see at the film festival, The Magnificent Seven. I actually did see this in the IMAX presentation. And it was just a great remake of a remake, and I still need to see the original Seven Samurai. I still have not seen it yet, but I absolutely really enjoyed this film. It was just so much fun, entertaining, great cast. And of course, the original remake has lots of sequels. Will we get another sequel to this? I do not know. Sadly, spoilers, some of these characters die. So, but overall, just a great piece of entertainment, and something that, of course, a lot of people saw. I think it came out like a week after I actually saw it at Toronto. But I'm glad I actually saw it there. And it's great to have it in my collection. I look forward to watching it again on the big screen with a massive sound system. Now, going back to more of a serious tone. Most of these movies are pretty serious. A lot of movies that go to the Toronto Film Festival, I imagine, are Oscar winners. They're very important films. They're very serious. And that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. And one of the most important films that I saw at the film festival there was A Monster Calls. Again, I had the great honor to see it again in the theaters. Second time I did take my mom. I really enjoyed it. This is not an easy movie to watch, but I think any kid that might be dealing with some sort of tragedy in their life, it's a great movie for them to relate to. But on top of that, it's just a beautiful film to watch with great music, great special effects, great characters, and a great director who, now that I've seen this film, I'm very excited about the Jurassic World sequel, since that's the next film he is making. So I'm hoping he can handle some interesting dark themes. And of course, that movie is going to be a lot more spectacular and blockbuster, but I just hope that he can make something as emotional as A Monster Calls. We'll see. All right, next one. Let's do some serious. Yeah, let's do some more serious movies. Okay, two serious movies together. 2 movies I think were some of the best films that I saw at the film festival. Some of the best films I saw last year, and maybe some of the best films I've ever seen in my life. And that would be Denial and The Birth of a Nation. 2 films sadly got shunned. Yeah, it's a good theme because both these films got shunned by the Academy Awards. It's a shame because both these films have a lot to offer, not only to educate, but also to entertain, to enlighten, and have some great performances, very moving. And I think both these films, even this one's PG-13, this one's rated R, but I think both these films should be seen in schools. And I think, maybe one week they show them Schindler's List, the next week they show Denial, and then maybe one week we see Glory in school when we're studying the Civil War, and then we watch The Birth of a Nation, or maybe this one first and then Glory, since I would say The Birth of a Nation is kind of a spirited prequel to Glory. So I think these films were both shunned when it came to award season, but I think the public overall really thought these films were pretty amazing, especially when it came to critics. I was extremely moved by both these films, and I actually saw them in the same theater where I saw none of those films I just talked about already. But anyways, I saw this in The Princess of Wales over in Toronto. Some of the best experiences I had at the film festival, and of course some of the films I'm going to talk about after this I did see at that theater as well. But overall, Denial and Birth of a Nation are both truly great films, and not easy to watch, but that's okay. I think they're still important to be seen if you have not got a chance to see them yet. All right, next one I saw in IMAX. Actually, I saw both these movies in IMAX, different theaters, but let's just go over them together for fun really quick. First one is Deepwater Horizon. This one did premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, and I did see this at the the IMAX theater in true IMAX is one of the most intense experiences I had during that festival. Just the sound was incredible, and the story. And if you know much about it, you'll enjoy this film. If you don't know much about it like I did, I think you'll even enjoy it much, much more. But Peter Berg is just a great director, and he also had another great film, not at the film festival, another film that came out a few months later called Patriots Day. It was a pretty great year for him when it came to movies. He made some solid movies that were based on true stories. Another film that was based on a true story, but I saw it at the Toronto International Film Festival, but it did not premiere there. It wasn't showcased there. We actually took a break from the film festival, and we saw Sully in IMAX. I knew a little bit about this story. Of course, I knew the outcome, I knew the ending, and that didn't matter at all. The way the movie's handled, the story structure, the acting, the direction by Clint Eastwood, stellar. One of the finest films. I'm sad that Tom Hanks didn't get nominated for an Academy Award, but he still gave an Academy Award-worthy performance, and this is a very emotional film, and it was just great to walk out of a movie and see something hopeful, something happy, something sad and tragic, but what's the word I'm looking for? Something that made you just feel great inside. Great to be alive, great to be living and breathing and enjoying. And I just was so, I don't know, it'd be hard to get around to watching this movie again because it was just such a crazy emotional experience, but I absolutely really loved this film. And I would say the same thing for both these. Just really well-handled films telling about true story events. So there you go. Even though one premiered at the film festival, the other one did not. Okay. Next one I thought was a great film, maybe a little overrated, but I still really enjoyed it a lot. I saw The Princess of Wales, and that would be Arrival. Now, you know, when I saw this film, I didn't know much about it. I tried to stay away from all the trailers, and overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Though there's a lot of things I don't think I fully understood about the film, but that didn't take away from the experience of actually watching it. Great director. The director of this film, of course, is directing the new Blade Runner movie, 2049, which is actually coming out next week, and I'm very excited to see that movie and do a review for you on my channel. Just one of the best directors living today, you know, because he did Prisoners, and gosh, what else did he? Arrival, and then Sicario, and now Blade Runner 2049. But I really enjoy this film. I really would like to watch it again. Got to get around to watching it. A more thought-provoking science fiction movie. I think some people maybe who didn't enjoy this were expecting maybe Independence Day resurgence. You don't get that. You get something a little smarter, but at the same time maybe a little too smart for my taste. But I really liked Arrival, and I did have a great time seeing it in the theater. And finally, it's just one movie, but because I'm a crazy, silly collector sometimes, and I just absolutely love a certain kind of film, I actually have not only one copy of La La Land on Blu-ray, but 2 copies of La La Land on Blu-ray. Of course, the reason I got both of these, because I did buy this one first, and then I went to Walmart, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this cover looks so much better. And I don't know if it's the same. Yeah, it's got the same cover right there, and of course, so they got different covers. That's the only thing different is the covers. That's it, silly. I don't know. I'll probably keep this one, and maybe I'll give this to a friend or something. I'll find a friend who actually really enjoyed this film. I loved La La Land. It was the best film I saw in 2016. It is the movie that should have won the Oscar for Best Picture of 2016. It's the movie that will be remembered more than the film that actually won Best Picture. It'll be loved and appreciated more than the film that won Best Picture. It'll be watched more than the film that won Best Picture. Sorry, that's just my opinion. It's maybe not a popular opinion, but La La Land was an incredible, fun showcase film of not only acting and music, but also showed a love of Los Angeles, my home, showed a love of film, and just elevated my love of cinema, and showed me why I love movies so much and what they're capable of doing. And it just had great music, great chemistry between the actors, and I'm always enjoyed a great challenging ending, and I love that this movie has more of a challenging ending, not the typical ending you might have expected from a movie like this. And as I watch movies from the past that dealt with music and theater and art, I feel like those movies are still honored today, they're still beloved today from the early days of Hollywood, and I feel like 50 years from now, La La Land will still be appreciated for being a milestone and being something that will be remembered forever and be enjoyed by the masses forever and be appreciated. That's how I feel about it. I really loved La La Land. I got a chance to see this in The Princess of Wales, like I saw most of the films. And it was not only the best movie experience I had at Toronto, but it was the best movie experience that I had all year in 2016. And I don't know if a movie has come along since then that has given me that kind of experience. I don't know, maybe by the end of 2017 I'll find a film that maybe top that or go beyond the experience that I had watching La La Land at Toronto International Film Festival. It was the highlight of the fest, and so I don't mind. Normally I don't really buy 2 copies of films, but I'm glad I have 2 copies, and maybe one day I can give this to a friend who loved the film as well.